Hey, peace, world. Thanks for pressing play on another Pay Me No Mind sports and entertainment. My name is Wood. A couple of weeks ago, we had a really fire Friday in terms of new music. It was a bevy of new albums, four or five. It might have been four arrived, but five were playing, and Black Thoughts was pulled back. This week, not that same volume of new music, but a very important figure returns with a new single. It's Nas. I mentioned before my favorite artist, my favorite hip hop artist, hands down. My solo artist, that's my guy. But he drops this new joint called Ultra Black. Ultra Black. And it's the first single off of his forthcoming project called, which now we have a title, King's Disease. So King's Disease will be here next Friday, I believe, August 21st. And it's executive produced by Hit Boy. I did a video yesterday talking about my concerns about that pairing. And this kind of dismisses some of my thoughts. Although this is just one track. We don't know what the other 13 and a bonus track. We don't know, too much about that. But they knocked this one out the park. I normally get 90 seconds or 45 seconds of people's time a lot often or often. And the song is dope, man. I listened to it about 5 or 6 times. It's a short song. And I'm excited, man. I mean, I think a lot of times you can get Nas excited about a record, maybe excited about a project. I think the dude might have ADD or ADHD or whatever, and maybe he gets bored with stuff, personally. But he knocks this one out the park, right? And so getting into the lyrics, I don't know if it's anything like this. Back in the day, the Source used to have hip hop quotables, or the hip hop quotable for the month. I don't know if you get anything on that level, but you get a pretty solid performance lyrically. One thing that I liked, I meant to mention right up front, he addresses a dude like me right away. Earlier in the song, he says, "Except where I'm at, not fighting me on it." This dude is what? Nas is 46, 47 now. He's a year or two above me. I'm not looking for old Nas. I'm just looking for Nas to be passionate about any project that he releases. A lot of guys haven't been able to span, 10 or 15 years. Hip hop is a young man's game. But like I said, I think Hit Boy, forget the dude. I don't want to mess his name up. But I think he gives him a track that inspired him. And right now, Ultra Black, Beyonce just put out the Black is King thing. This is right in Nas's wheelhouse, talking about the culture and, celebrating blackness and black excellence and black culture. And I think he nails it, man. He references, he lets you know that he's an older guy because of some of the references that pop up on here. And we just heard D Smoke, had his song talking about all of these black things. So that's an easy, direct comparison right there. How did D Smoke do with it? Did you like what he did? And then here Nas, an older guy, a more seasoned guy doing it. Not about who did it better, but who was dope. I think both of them were. But he gets here in the first verse, and he mentions Superfly, the Mac, Sitting Fly in the Lack, Sanford and Son is in the first verse, like all this stuff from the 70s. You know what I mean? So then he comes back in the second verse with Isaac Kennedy Films, Penitentiary 2, Black Light, Out in the Loop, Black Don't Crack, It's Like the Founding Youth, The Culture's Black, like Iman, the model, supermodel, one of the first black supermodels. She beautiful, going ultra black, to Africa you say go back. I stay pro black. Yeah, it works, man. I like it, and you can see now how distilled you know songs are from his earlier works. You go and read you go and look up the lyrics from Illmatic, and even it was written, and it's way more words on the screen. You know, the songs are so much more dense, I think is the word. It's a lot of heft in the lyrics. Here he keeps it kind of moving. It's thinned out. It's just two verses, not three. And like I said, I think Hit Boy over delivered. If you're gonna come out with the lead single, I think he over delivered on the track. I can't. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if it's a sample. I believe Hit Boy plays some instruments. It sounds like some simple chords on a piano or keyboard, and then it's dressed up with other little things, other little details, to make it to give it that hip hop feel. I like the drum track on the drum programming and whatnot. I think it's a very solid song, man. It's a shorter song. Get in and get out. It can hold people's attention. It's not much time on here for him to be lazy or clumsy or not sound current. It's a good record, man. And it's somewhat the sound of it is kind of reminds me of what I thought it was No ID who did the Daughters joint when that was the lead off single for, was it Life is Good? And I felt like I had some concerns about what Hit Boy would do if he produces everything on here. And there's a couple of different directions that you can go and be successful with it. I know I talked about working with some of the younger, hungrier producers who are heating up things in NY right now or New York. He could have went that route, or you could get a seasoned producer who is invested and has a certain vision and can execute it right. I wasn't a big fan of what of the final results or the finished product between Nas and Kanye. I'm not saying it was total trash, but for me as a Nas fan and what I think he sounds good over and everything, I just didn't see that chemistry. I honestly didn't. So we get into this, and I was interested to see one other part that I liked on here is a bit of Nas paying homage to himself. He goes back and references, he has a line in here. He also mentioned Grace Jones, skin tone, but that. Multiple colors, we come in all shades, mocha black. But he has this line in here where he was saying that Superfly, the Mac, sitting, flying the lack, take the boat on the water, history talks with my daughter. My son will be my resurrection. Constantly learning lessons, I'll never die. You get the message. Back in The World Is Yours, years ago, on Illmatic, he had the line about thinking a word best describing my life to name my daughter. My strength, my son, the star will be my resurrection. Born in correction, all the wrong shit I did, he'll lead a right direction. That kind of ties this back to that in a way, or in a direct way. So I like that. And then lastly, man, just I like the subject matter. One thing that I think when I watch a lot of what's going on right now, Nas shows kind of like the many, a person can be many things at once, and then when we look at right now with a lot of the social justice stuff that's going on and all of these causes and whatnot, and looking at the struggle and the plight and all, and I get all of that. But Nas calls out and what we are, who we really are, history being, not getting people to right. I like how Nas says some things in here that celebrates whatever the hell we are. Black people, African Americans, you got the descendants of slave, American descendants, African descendants of slave, all these different things out there, man. And I just like that Nas is here like, man, this is what, all these things are what we do, man. We come in all these shades. We got stuff in the hood that's dope. We got brothers who are successful that are dope. It's a lot of stuff in the community. It's a lot of different all at the same time. You know, it's negative stuff and shit that's horrible and horrific and harsh realities. But then he's like, all of these things to celebrate our flavor, our fashion. Like I said, he's mentioning the movies, the historic Grace Jones, Iman, Sanford and Son, all of these things that have represented us throughout the decades that have been, you know, steps and signs of success. And so sometimes when I sit around and I listen to some people that just constantly on the with being oppressed and held down and blah blah blah, we know all of that. But despite all of the struggles and whatever, there's still a lot of great accomplishments. There's still a lot of dope individuals. There's still a lot of love. There's still a lot of joy. There's still some things that have changed the world. In a number of different ways. It's all of this other stuff to be proud about and to marvel at, you know, to a degree. And the chorus is we going ultra black. I got a toast to that. We don't fold or crack. We don't fold or crack. Occasion, we rose to that. F going postal. This is a celebration. We going ultra black. Watching the globe change. Hoping the coldest range. Hopping the coldest range. Hit boy on the beat. The shit posed to slap. We going ultra black. Black is beautiful. We going black is beautiful. Like I said, man, it's a way to celebrate the culture and the people, and I think it's a pretty dope record, man. I'm excited to see what more Hit Boy can do. Like I said, I like samples. I like my music that's based on samples and boom bap and real classic hip hop drums and whatnot. And this isn't necessarily that, but like I said, all of the traditional elements of hip hop here are here to me, and I'm interested to see where it goes. In terms of King's Disease, it's interesting. That's an interesting title. It shows me kind of how locked in Nas might be with this album, really. And like, and the one thing that I may have not mentioned yesterday, you know, if we go back to early March when the world shut down, that's 4 or 5 months to really lock in and focus on anything that somebody might have been doing. So we could really be in for something special. But King's Disease, I just Googled it, and gout came up, and it was something about King's gout. It's called King's Disease because of a lavish diet and alcohol consumption of the wealthy, like King Henry VIII, who suffered from gout. And then gout is also the king of arthritic diseases. So I'm interested where he's going with that, because again, that hints at, is he talking about like the ruling class, or that this 1% in the country, you know, these people these 5 families, or whatever, is it 5 or 11 families who have their hands in all of these industries and all of the wealth in this country? I could be wrong with some facts there, don't kill me. But, or is it just the wealthier dudes and the dudes who have made good money in hip hop? And maybe some commentary on balancing being successful or becoming successful, rising up from those humble beginnings and all. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But like I said, I like the title. The album cover is out there. The cover artwork looks pretty dope. Could we get like a really a late career defining album from Nas? We don't know. I don't know if there's any features on there just yet. So I'm interested for next Friday, man. I'm excited to see what could roll our way. It's good. I forget who had that line, but it's good to see your old school cats still getting money, reinventing themselves, and doing something dope and showing that they haven't lost a step, and defying the odds with hip hop being, you know, a young man's game. So check that out. Let me know what you think about the single if you made it this far. Again, man, a lot of people, just because you may not be as big on something as they are, you're hating. And man, I listen to this stuff and I just share my thoughts on it, man. And I'm not here to tell everybody that I love. I'm not gonna be the dude online that everything that comes on TV or everything that you can stream and listen to is the greatest thing ever. That's just not me. Is it fire? Maybe. Is it dope? Maybe. Can it grow on me? It might. It just might. I just try to be honest about it. So anyway, that's it, man. Ultra Black. Very apropos subject matter from Nas, Sear, Jones. I hope you enjoy it. Till next time. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Peace.